Hello students, today we learn bubble sort programs, but today we are going to sort on string type data. So last class what we practiced, it was on integer type. So the field what we were sorting, it was on integer type, but today we are going to sort list of or you can say list of elements of type string, or I can say a name array. I have taken some list of names, so it is a string type array. So how exactly we are going to sort the names, that is what today's program is. So directly I am starting with the logic. The complete program initialization, that is when I go to BlueJ, that time I will give you the complete program. So let us understand the logic part, how exactly it is going to sort the string type data. Then we will see the complete program, how exactly it is going to execute on the screen, or how exactly we get the output. Let us see the logic execution first. Since I have taken 4 names here, so I have typed string 4 names, it is not in a sorted order. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, up to 3 is the index number what I have taken here. So that is the reason, as you all know, bubble sort requires a nested loop. So we have taken 2 loop here, first for loop and the inner for loop. In inner for loop we check the adjacent value, and if it is not in order we swap them. By doing that in one pass, means from the beginning of the array till the end of the array, once we complete, the heaviest or the largest element will be moved to the last place, that is in the first pass, or in the first complete completion of a pass. So that is what we are going to achieve from the inner loop. The same process has to be repeated till we get the entire array sorted. That is why you require one more for loop here. So bubble sort requires a nested loop. So first time we start with the for loop, repeating for less than 4 means up to 3. There are 4 names. Since index number starts from 0, so we go on up to 3. So less than 4 it is, that is for the outer loop. Inner loop, as you all know, last class I explained. So j we start with 0, j less than, so let me write the evaluation here, 0 less than 4 minus 1. I told you in the last class why we write minus 1. When j comes to the last location, last but one location, when j comes to last but one location, the last location is also, or last element is also compared. That is the reason up to 2. Suppose if the elements are, or index numbers are from 0 to 3, if you check up to 2, when j comes to, okay, let me show that again here. If when j comes to 2, j plus 1 3, the last index number is also compared. That is the reason minus 1 is given. Then minus I, there is no effect of minus I for the first time, because I is pointing to 0. So 4 minus 1 is 3, 4 minus 1 is 3, 3 minus 0, just no effect of that, 3 only. So less than 3 means up to 2 time we are going to repeat. So next iteration means once we complete the entire for loop here, when we go to the outer loop, from the outer loop when we enter into the inner loop, that time I value will be 1, so that by the time we have moved the largest element to the last location, that we want to skip. So in that case, skipping from the last element, we keep on omitting the last element. For that reason minus I is required. This you all have understood in the last class. The same thing I just repeated, just revision once. So for minus 1 minus I, that is when you only have initialized. Assume that if you are taking array as an argument, in that case you cannot say what is the, because user will be giving the array elements, so we don't know how many elements the user is going to give. In that case you can replace this with array dot length. So whatever the size of the array, accordingly the elements length will be taken. So in that case here length minus 1 minus I you have to write. That program I have given one more separately. Now let us write now j less than 4 only, j less than 4, that is in the outer loop. Inner loop, since we only have initialized, we know how many elements are there, so we give the direct count. And students, I told you that since we are sorting on string type, I cannot write my if condition to check the adjacent value, something like this, nm of, suppose if it is id, we write id of j greater than id of j plus 1. So if I am checking with strings, I cannot write if nm of j greater than nm of j plus 1. So this style we cannot give. See, I am highlighting this style. The relational operator cannot be applied for strings. So here we are comparing which string is bigger, smaller to swap the values. So in that case, this relational operator cannot be applied on string. Already we have learnt one command to compare two string, which is compare to command. So we have learnt one command here, compare to. So this is the command we have to apply. So name of j is initially pointing to 0. I am comparing the first name with the second name. So let me recall or re-explain how the compare to command is working. Already I explained this in case of the that is in the binary search also we have used this command. Now again for sorting also we are using, because we are going to compare two adjacent values. Let me explain how exactly this command is going to work, what exactly result we are getting. So here when I give name of j means the first name 0, j plus 1 will be pointing to the next element, that is the second name. So when I compare these two, what exactly result I get? So that is what the working column I have written here. If you see that first name is, so we are going to compare the first name, that is when the first name, okay, the supposed to be, I'll change the name here, this I'll make it as Anita here. Let me take Anita and here Anant. Let me take the data like this. So in that case, so first name is Anita, second name is Anant. If you compare this, Anant name should come here, Anita should go to the second place, because Anant name, if you see the alphabetical order, as I told you, compare to will check it in a dictionary order. So here first letters, if you take that first letter A, here also A common, so it goes with the second letter. N here also N, both are similar, so compare to will go ahead with the next letter. So in that first name the third letter is I here third letter is A. There is a difference between these two strings, there is a letter difference here. So immediately it stops the comparison and it will give you the ASCII value difference of these two letters. That is, the ASCII value of I is 105, ASCII value of small letter A is 97. I have written one ASCII chart here. If you want, you also can. See, initial value of A is 97. If you write all the ASCII values of the alphabets, you will end up in getting the ASCII value of I also here. See, I have just written one small table just for explanation. Small letter A is 97. If you go on like this, you can see I is 105. So 105 is the ASCII value of small letter I, and for small letter A, ASCII value is 97. When you do that, compare to will give you the difference between the first string and the second string, and the difference you will get it as 8. So if condition becomes like this, if the outcome of compare to command, outcome of this command I am writing now, compare to command will give you 8 greater than 0, means you are getting the result, the 8 is nothing but a number which is above 0, means I can say it is a positive number what you are getting. When the first string is bigger than the second string, you will get a positive number, so which is above 0, that is what we are checking. When the first string is bigger than the second string, since we are going in a ascending order, so small name should come first and the big name should go to the next. So we have to swap them, so we have to interchange them. So 8 is above 0, indication what? First string is bigger than the second string. So in that case we go ahead with the swapping. As you all know the logic swapping step, all of you know that. So let me zoom the screen. Okay. So you all know how exactly we swap this strings here. So temp is equal to nm of j. So temp will get the value of 0 location. So I am getting temp as Anita here. So this has been transferred into temporary variable. Then the second step, nm of j is equal to j plus 1. To that j location, j plus 1 value will be moved. So accordingly we will get the data as Anant here. So this is the data we are getting. Then once we copy the content of j plus 1 to j location, the next step is j plus 1 is equal to temp nm of j plus 1. To this location we should get the value of content of Anita, that is in a temp variable. So here we will get the value as now Anita, that is what its place supposed to be in ascending order. So we interchange it, that is in the first step. So we interchange. After that again it will loop back, j plus plus, j will go to the 1 location now, condition true. So here it comes here, the if condition becomes as if 1 less than 3, condition true, it comes and compares the next two. So we are going to compare the next two value, that is Anita and Zufar. So these two data will be compared. So j will be moved to the next location, that is j will go to the next location 1 here. So now the data what we are comparing is Anita and Zufar. So the next letter what we are comparing is Zufar, and the letter first name what we are checking is Anita. So the ASCII value of capital A is 65. There is a difference in the first letter itself. 65 is the capital letter, that is capital letter A. Z ASCII value also I have written one table here. So capital A starts from 65, it goes on, and for Z we get the value as 89. So 89 is the ASCII value of Z, because there is a difference in the first letter itself. The difference what we are getting is minus 24. So the if condition becomes here is 20 minus 24 above 0, but it is not above 0, it is a negative number, condition becomes false. So when you compare Anita and Zufar, Zufar is in its own place because that is a big name, so it is in order, so no swapping will be done because condition evaluated to be false. After this again it will loop back. Now j goes to the next location 2, then here condition becomes 2 less than 3 minus 0, which is 3. So condition true once again comes in here, nm of, so j will go to the location 2. When j goes to 2 location, j plus 1 is 3. So nm of j dot compare to nm of j plus 1. Now the next if condition will see. So what is there in j is Zufar. So here it will be, the name is, okay, Zufar name is compared with Amok. If you see that Z ASCII value is 89, then first letter A, there is a difference in the first letter itself. Z ASCII value is 89, capital letter A ASCII value is 65. The difference what you are getting is 24. Now 24 is above 0, which is a positive number. You will get a difference of, or you will get above 0, means which is a positive number when the first string is bigger than the second string. But to sort it in a ascending order, bigger name should go to the next one and small name should come here. So we have to swap them. So this is what the names what we are comparing, Zufar and Amok. So first name is bigger than the second one, so we have to interchange them. So the difference what we are getting is 24, which is above 0, condition true, it comes here, temp is equal to nm of j, j is pointing to Zufar. So here the name temp will be taken as Zufar, which is nm of j location. To that nm of j location, this is a statement, the next step, j will get the value of j plus 1. So what is there here? Amok will be transferred into j location. Then to that j plus 1, what is there in temp 1 will be brought it here. So you will get the name as Zufar. So you interchange the values here. So after that again it will loop back, j will go to the next location 3. So j goes to the next location which is 3 here. Then here j less than 3 less than 3 minus 0, which is 3. 3 is not less than 3. Condition false, it finishes with the inner for loop. It will go back to the outer loop. Now I becomes now 1. Then here 1 less than 4, condition true, again it restarts with the inner loop, that is in the next iteration. So we finished with one pass. By doing that, if you see that entire list is not in a sorted order, but the biggest element, which is Zufar, has been moved to the last place. Now if you take this one, Anant, Anita, Amok, still it is not in a sorted order. Actually Amok should come to the first location. That will be done in the subsequent iteration. Once again these two will be compared, not in a order, it will be swapped. Once again Anita and Amok will be compared, not in a order, swapped. Like that Amok will be brought to this one. The next highest will be moved to the next location of the new list. This is how it works. This you have seen the subsequent iteration in the previous example. The same way here also it works. So for the very first pass we have moved the largest element to the last. That is in the very first pass. But still the list is not in a sorted order. Once again the loop repeats. Once again the swapping will take place. So the continuation, everything, the logic, everything is same. Only for strings this step is extra. So this is how we are writing. The evaluation also I explained. Let us see the complete program and the output of this by taking one example. So I have taken one example program, the same strings only. The program is something like this. So we have taken one program, write a program to initialize an array with any 4 names, sort the list in ascending order of names and display it. So we have taken one array, same name I have taken, so that you can make out how exactly. As I told you, after finishing this, still the list is not in order, again it repeats, again bubble sort is applied for that. Once again it goes with the swapping of the values subsequent times. So we are just checking with the program how exactly. So here, so name I have taken as same name, I and j as you require nested loop. Temporary is of type string, because the names what we are the data or elements what we are swapping is of type string. So it should not be integer type. For this example it is a string type. So as usual, outer loop repeated for less than 4 times. So inner loop minus 4, that is less than 4 minus 1 minus I, this you all know already. Then here only this step is extra compared to the integer type, the rest everything is same, swapping everything. After sorting the entire array, we are going to display these sorted names on the screen. Since there are 4 elements, 4 times we repeat and we display. So the for loop what we are writing is to display the array content. This is only display array, and the logic what we have written here, it is for bubble sort. So once you finish with sorting, you display the entire array. We will see the output of this. I will compile. So let us see. Since we have initialized, there is no need to give any input. Directly we get the output sorted list. Okay, I just interchanged it to sort it in a descending order. So because I wanted to give you, so here the sign is above 0. Above 0, because I wanted to, because I was preparing notes, I made it as less than 0 for sorting it in a descending order. I will come to that later. Let me show what I am giving you is in ascending order. So above 0. So I will compile this. We will see. Now the list is in a sorted order. See, compared to Anant and Anita, AN is common. A has this is the first or least name you can say compared to Anita. I has got the highest ASCII value. That is why after Anant, Anita has come. Similarly here also alphabetical order. M, then N will come. So same dictionary order you have sorted the list. So this is how sorting for strings where we are making use of the command compared to. I hope with this example at least you are able to understand still more better way how exactly compared to command is working. So I will just summarize. Compared to command will give you the difference between two strings. It will give you above 0 means a positive number when the first string is bigger than the second string, and it gives a negative number when the first string is smaller than the second string, and it will give you 0 when both the strings are equal. So I have given you notes, please revise once. So I have taken one more example, second example. Once you understand this, second step is also very easy. Second one, where I have taken two array instead of one single array, we have taken two array here. Write a program to read any 5 employee name and corresponding department. So we are going to read 5 employee name and corresponding department. Sort the list in ascending order of employee name and display in a tabular form. Once you finish with the sorting, you are going to display it in a tabular form. For that I have taken two array, one name and department. As we are going to read the array, so we are going with the scanner class and import statement. Then both the array is of type string. So for swapping, we have a two set of swapping, temp1 and temp2. So we have taken two variables. So the very first for loop what we are writing is only for reading the array, because once you declare array is empty, there is no data available in that. So we are telling the user to enter the content for an array. Once they enter the data, now once the list is ready, then you are going to apply sorting. Then you are going to sort it on employee name. Once you finish with the sorting, you are going to display the output in a tabular form, name and department, everything. So all of you know tabular form output. Here students, I told you in the last class, when you have a multiple arrays, okay, let me explain with this example, you will be able to. When you have more than one array, suppose I am going to sort it on student, that is on employee name. Suppose if you see Vedant and Deepesh here, actually it is not in order. At a time when you compare bubble sort in adjacent values, when you compare, Deepesh should go here, then Vedant. Suppose if I interchange now, you know all of you how exactly we write a statement to interchange. When you interchange, the corresponding department also should be interchanged, otherwise it becomes a wrong information. Actually Vedant was in HR department, Deepesh was in CS department. Once I interchange, immediately the corresponding department also should be interchanged. So whenever you have a multiple array, so you need to take care of two set of swapping statements. That is, one is for student name. Okay, I'll go with the source program here. One is for the employee name, not student name, employee name. One more is department. But you are going to sort on employee name. According to employee name, department will also be swapped. And one more thing, normally we do sorting on unique field. Assume that you might be getting a question. Suppose assume that there are two employees with the same name. Normally when we design, that is practically when we go, we take care of one more. But one more field also. When you have a repetition, then we go with one more field. Based on that we try to sort. But otherwise, normally we apply sorting on a unique field where there is no repetition of that. On that field only we try to sort. Otherwise no, when there are multiple fields with the same name, no swapping will be taken place and you will not be getting in a particular order. So normally sorting is applied for a unique field where you don't have any repetitions of that. Simply as an example, I have taken employee name and department. Suppose if the names are common, at least the first name, second name, based on that we try to swap, or based on that we try to go with the sorting. So I have taken one simple program, name and department, and we are just going ahead. So we are just concentrating on how exactly string type sorting will be taken place here. So when you have multiple array, take care of one more set of swapping. If there are three array, then one more that array swapping statement also you have to take care. So after that we are going to display it in a tabular form. Let me compile and let us see how exactly the program is working. Okay, I will compile this. Now when I execute this, it is asking me to give employee name and department. Just to save the time, I already kept the inputs ready. One PDF file, as I told you, I just kept it ready for you so that you can download and you also can see the execution of this. Same thing, I will try to give the data here. Okay. I will execute 5 student name. So, sorry, not student, employee. 5 employee name and corresponding department. So, I have taken, if you see the list is not in a sorted order. First column is name, second column is department. we are going to sort the list based on the employee name. So accordingly we get the department. So once I finish with my entry, when I press the enter key, so I am getting all the names in a sorted order. If you see, Avanish is in CS department, same thing I am getting. Bharat is in accounts. That is the reason when you have a multiple array, the corresponding swapping also you should take care. I hope you are all able to understand why two set of swapping statements. That is why I am explaining here. See now, Vedant HR, Vivek is also in HR. So accordingly we are getting. If you do not write this one, only if you sort on name, then some other employee will be getting a different department, which gives to you or which leads to a wrong information. So I hope you all understood why two set of swapping statements. So second program. Along with this, so two programs we have discussed today, how exactly on string type sorting we are doing it in a bubble sort. Along with this, I am giving you one PDF file with this video. So in the beginning of that PDF file, last class there were 3 homework questions. For that the solutions are given. So first program similar to the one practice one question, no solution. So you only have to write. I told you in this last video also. Second one also. Third one I told you to try so that you can verify. So receive, whenever you are taking argument, array as an argument. So along with the method you will be writing those array names. So once you receive the array, you will be using the command dot length, because you don't know how many elements will be given by the end user. For that reason you are giving a dot length command. So the rest of the logic go ahead as it is. So here, since there are two array, as I told you, two set of swapping statements. Along with this program I have given the comments then and there only, so that you all can able to understand in a better way. Along with that, how exactly program input and output you are getting also I have given it here. Please go through with this. Then bubble sort, sorting on string type array, what we practiced today, that program also I have given. Same example I have taken. Try this on your system. Second one, read 5 employee, that is also solution. Along with that I have given you 3 homework questions here. So in that, first one is to initialize. So all these are sorting string type data. So today what you learn, based on that you are going to write the program. So initialize an array with 5 place name. I had taken only one string, one array, but I have given now 2 array, one place name and corresponding std code. Sort it in a ascending order of place name and display it. So if you refer practice one program, you will be able to. So first you learn the program and try to attempt the homework question. So second one is to read. Third one is to receive. For the third question, receiving, how to take array as an argument, just now I said. See, that's what I have written here. Practice 9 program 3. That is what it is there in this video only. That is in this PDF file only. So how do you take it as an argument? Go ahead. But here it is of type integer. But for the homework question what I have given you today, take care for string type. Bubble sort, but only on string type. So compare to will be applied for string type data. So along with this, I wanted to tell you one more thing also, which is very easy. Let me finish with that topic also. Last class I gave you one example, that is to sort the integer type array. So hope you all have practiced in the last class. Write a program to initialize an array with 5 elements and sort it in a ascending order using bubble sort. Sometimes you may get a question to sort it in a descending order also, means in a decreasing order. So you are not writing a different logic for this. So you all can understand, we are going to sort the list in descending order. So program remains everything same, only one step if you change. Okay, first let me show how exactly you are getting. Sorting in ascending order, this is a program, this we have done in the last class. Okay, if I execute this, I am getting all the elements in a ascending order. So if you a of j greater than a of j plus 1, you will get the output in a ascending order. See here, 1, 3, 6, 7, 9. Same program, a small change, you will get it in a descending order. That's what I wanted to finish it off, or I want to include, because it's a small topic. You can understand and you also can try out with all sorting with descending order. So greater sign we gave for ascending order, lesser sign. If I change the sign to lesser sign, means when the first element is lesser than the second element, then we keep on moving the smallest element to the last. Whereas in ascending order, the biggest will be moved to the last, whereas in descending order, smallest will be moved to the last. So we are just changing the greater sign to lesser sign. So by just doing that, see the program now, you will get the output in a descending order. Previously I got, now I am getting it in a descending order. Same way even for name also. Today what we practiced, nm of j dot compare to nm of j plus 1 greater than 0. When the first string is bigger than the second one, we are doing the swapping. When it is lesser, so I want to go it in a descending order. Just change the sign, compile. Now you see the program, you will get the names in descending order. See, we are getting the names in descending order. Students, when you learn the program, please learn only for ascending order. Do not confuse the sign. What sign you are using, just make a opposite sign of that, so that becomes in a descending order. So for that reason I have given one note here. To sort in descending order, change greater sign to lesser sign as given below. Suppose if you are doing it in an integer type data, you write greater sign. If id of j greater than id of j plus 1, that you make it as a lesser sign here for descending order for integer type. Suppose if you are doing it for a string type data, where you write nm of j dot compare to j plus 1 greater than 0, that you make it as less than 0. The rest of the program, everything, the complete program remains to be same. So only you will get the output in a descending order. So whatever programs you have written all these days on bubble sort, try to do it in a descending order also, just changing this sign. So please practice with this. I'll come with some more programs in the next video. Thank you, students.